Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. I'm happy to have you here today. It is our Training Thursday show where we're actually going to be talking about a topic that transcends health, it transcends fitness, it transcends all specific areas, because what we're really talking about is working on the whole individual. So I'm going to take you through the actual methodology I've been using now for well over a decade in order to help people work on whether it be wellness, weight loss, or anti-aging. And I'm going to give you the specific order that we do that in and how we go about it. So whether you're an integrative health practitioner, whether you're a functional medicine practitioner, you are a naturopathic doctor, etc., you'll be able to hopefully implement some of this in your practice as well, because it is tried and true. But also, just for, again, this podcast is dedicated to everyday people looking to improve their health, their family's health, and that of their loved ones. So I want to share something very simple with you today. I'm going to give you the macro. Today's episode 1567 of the podcast, so 1567 of the Cabral Concept. And over the past 1566 shows, I've given you all individual modalities of how to make today's methodology work. So if you hear something today, there's no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to follow up with it with previous shows. And it is my hope that you will go back, no matter where you've entered the Cabral Concept, in order to just go back and listen to previous shows. Take your time. They're not going anywhere. And as they say, health is wealth, because what else do you really have if you don't have the energy, if you don't have the vitality, and you don't have the zest for life? If you're not living life to the fullest right now, there's something wrong with the body, because the body, your physiology, absolutely affects your psychology. And your psychology is your ability to think in a healthy way. So if you have anxiety, if you're overwhelmed, if you have certain types of depression, the physiology, your body's absolutely affecting that. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there are so many studies that show how gut dysfunction and candida and copper overload and so many other things actually affect the brain. But not only that, we can see what happens is when we get people into a stimulated physiological state in terms of exercise or just kind of getting them up and doing specific exercises, that they actually can alleviate their depression and their anxiety. Now, I'm not saying that that's the exact thing that you should do, because it's kind of forcing the body into a certain state. And yes, it does work in the acute term. But what I'd like to do is figure out, is there a deeper level to this? And that's what we're really going to be going about it today. Not just for mental health, but again, physical well-being and all the way down to anti-aging. Well, it's been a while now, but I started in the nutrition and physical fitness industry in the late 90s. So that's when I was going to college, and that's when I was saying, okay, I have health issues myself. I don't know how to get well yet, but if I can at least transform my body. Like, I knew that if I picked up weights and I worked out, I would put on muscle and I would look physically fit, which psychologically helped me to get by to a better degree. I know that it wasn't the best thing. I know that it probably wasn't always the smartest thing, because I pushed my body too hard, but I was at least able to physically transform my body. If not internally, it wasn't as healthy yet. But I learned a lot along the way. And I learned this, that if you help someone with a good nutrition program and you help them with a good physical fitness program, like a personal training-based program or strength-based program with cardiovascular as well, you can actually transform that person's health as well. And I didn't know it until I started doing it. Again, I wasn't a functional medicine practitioner then. I wasn't a doctor of naturopathy. I wasn't an integrative health practitioner. I wasn't any of those things, Ayurvedic, etc. I didn't know any of that. I was studying nutrition. I was studying anti-inflammatory diet plans before it was, the thing. I was studying paleo before it was the thing. But that's because I was figuring out how to help clients transform their bodies. So if they were 20, 30, 100 pounds overweight, I would help them get physically fit. That's what I would do. A lot of it was through nutrition, and of course, it was through exercise as well. But what I found is this. I work with many clients who smoked. I work with many clients that had high blood pressure or high cholesterol or type 2 diabetes, just to name a few, right? I mean, these are common things that many people deal with. And they would come in, and I wouldn't try to help them with lowering any of those specific diseases of the body, because that would have been way out of my scope of practice. And that's not what they were asking me to do. They would say, they would come to me and say, I want to lose 30 pounds. And I would say, great, I can help you do that. Here's how we're going to do it. Are you interested? And they said, yes. Or every once in a while, they'd say, well, I'm not going to change my nutrition, but I still want to exercise. And I said, okay, I'll still give you the best exercise program available. Maybe we can make some tweaks to your nutrition plan. But I want to be honest with you, you're probably not going to be able to reach your goals of 30 plus pounds of weight loss, et cetera, if you're not willing to make any of the nutritional changes. And they would say, okay, I understand, or they wouldn't. But, for the most part, people are understanding. And even 20 years ago, they would at least come to the realization, well, if I don't change my nutrition, I'm probably not going to be able to change my body, because you can't out-exercise a bad diet. A lot of people think at the beginning that you can, but you simply can't. It's just think about it this way. 4 tablespoons of fat, even a healthy fat, is 500 calories. I mean, that's an hour of exercise, right? If you're just looking at calories in, calories out, and I know that's not the end-all be-all, but it's just so easy. I mean, how easy is it to drizzle on some fat onto a meal? 4 tablespoons goes by pretty quick. Well, that's 500 calories. And, calories do matter. And so obviously, with an exercise program, we're looking to rev up metabolic rate, not just burn calories. But still, 500 calories is 500 calories, and they do matter, because they have to go somewhere. You just put it in, so it needs to go somewhere. It is either going to be used to shape the body in terms of did you break it down? Does the body need to be refueled or not? But the bottom line is, if I showed it to people like that, they would get it, and they would say, okay, what do I need to do? Build in some cheat meals for me, which I could do, but I want to lose the weight. And I would say, great. And so we would create that program, we'd create those protocols, and people would lose the weight. I mean, other people can do this. This is not unique to me, because remember, everything I learned from textbooks, or I learned from other coaches. And then what I did was I implemented it into my practice. And then as I implemented it in my practice, then I made my own unique tweaks and modifications based on what I saw and based on how I can make it work better. And that's, I think, what a lot of practitioners do. So after a while, it was very easy for me to help anybody in the world lose 5 pounds in 7 days. Actually, way back in the day, I used to just always help people do that. And that's why I work with a lot of other personal trainers' clients. They knew I wasn't going to take their clients because I wasn't that type of person. I just helped them with their nutrition. And then their personal trainer helped them with their exercise programs. But what we did was we typically help people lose 5 to 10 pounds in a week. And people say, well, you can't do that. Well, you can, and it's not all body fat, nor does it need to be, because if you listen to yesterday's show on inflammation, I helped clean up a lot of the inflammatory-based triggers. So their body wasn't as inflamed, and if it's not as inflamed, well, you don't hold on to all that excess toxic water weight. And I did a show on toxic water weight if you want to check that out as well. So we lose some body fat, we definitely eliminate the toxic water weight, and the person's healthier. Again, you don't need to be holding all that. So you're just toxic. You're inflamed. And then after that, we look to help someone lose. It's typically 50% of week one's weight loss. So if you lost 10 pounds, you'll lose about 5 in the next week. If you lost 5, you'll lose about 2.5. And then we lose about 1% of the body weight per week ongoing. And that's very easy to maintain. So it's 5 pounds the first week, 3 pounds or so the second week. So let's say 1.5 pounds after that if the person weighs 150 pounds. Well, you're looking at easily 10 pounds of weight loss in your first 4 weeks. And that's very, very doable. Now we can help people much more with our functional medicine detox, etc. But regardless, not hard to help someone lose 10 pounds to 15 pounds their first month. And then very easy after that, somewhere around 6 to 8 pounds every single month. So we would be able to help someone easily lose 20 to 30 pounds in 12 weeks. And that's a pretty significant change. I mean, if you see someone and they lost 30 pounds or even 20 pounds, 25 pounds in 3 months, if you hadn't seen that person in a couple months, it's a dramatic change, especially when you're exercising. The person's body's completely transformed. But here's what I found. along with the good nutrition, and I've been talking about the same thing for 20 years, like 7 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables, right? Because you want to fill up on good, nutritious food. A lot of antioxidants. They help with inflammation. And it's a lot of fiber, so it helps with satiation. It helps with so many different things. So good protein, good fat, a lot of veggies. That's what we did, right? And it still works to this day. It's never going to stop working. So we are able to help people lose the weight, right? It's not a secret. We do that as part of our Fatlocity program now. Okay, here's what happened though. People would say, you're not going to believe this, but my cholesterol went down 40 points. It went from 230 to 190 now. I'm within my 160 to 200 zone. My LDL went down. My triglycerides went down. And I would say that's amazing. Again, I'm not curing. I'm not treating any disease. I'm helping people with their nutrition. I was helping them with their fitness back when I was 18 years old, 20 years old, definitely 22 years old. I was doing it full time. And so that was great. And then people would say, I'm off my blood pressure medication. Again, I'm not helping them get off their blood pressure medication. Their blood pressure is going down because they're losing weight and they're dropping inflammation and they're rebalancing the body. Same with their blood sugar. So these are all amazing things that personal trainers, that nutritionists, etc., can do from helping people lose weight. Integrative health practitioners, that's part of their job. So why do I say, as part of my methodology in the weight loss, wellness, anti-aging, that weight loss comes first? And that's this, because so many of your health-based issues can be eliminated, or at least, if not greatly reduced, by getting down to a healthy body weight. And that is why I implore you, forget about the vanity side of the equation. If you want it, great, you'll get it. But if you lose the weight, you will get healthier. Almost 100% of the time. And that's why when people ask me, they say, well, don't you think that it's okay for people to be the shape that they are? I say, absolutely. Endomorphs will be endomorphs, ectomorphs will be ectomorphs, pittos will be pittos, or mesomorphs will be mesomorphs. Yes, I respect all body types. All body types are truly unique and beautiful in their way. But nobody should be overweight. There's just different sizes of a healthy weight, right? That's it. And I'm definitely not preaching that anybody should be overly thin or anything like that. An ectomorph will look thinner. Well, they have thinner joints. They have thinner bone structure. Endomorph, larger joints, larger bone structure, more mass in the body. But that doesn't mean that they can't be at a healthy weight for them. Again, I'm kind of in the middle. So I'm 5'8", and for me, 165 pounds or so, good body weight, right? But I had a client, for him, right around 190 pounds. No exaggeration. If we got below that, he was looking gaunt. He was a true endomorph. He did not look healthy below that. We're the same height. And then I have other clients that are true ectomorphs. And for them, 145 pounds at 5'8", that's the right weight for them, right? So there's a huge 50-pound range right there. True endomorph, 195 for this person, 190. Me, around 165 or so. And again, I've been all the way up to 200 pounds. I've been down to 145. What's best for me, that my body's easy to maintain, about 165. And then also, this person, many people I know, 140, 145. That's a great weight for them. So we've got this fluctuation, right? But it's all healthy for their body. All right. So now, though, we have people lose the weight. They get to a healthy body weight for them. Then in our practice, we move towards weight loss. So this was the next evolution too of my practice. Becoming an integrative health practitioner meant this. It meant that whatever was left after a person got to that healthy body weight, or within 5 pounds to 10 pounds maximum, we help them with the health-based issues. And that might now be some type of imbalance with autoimmune, et cetera, et cetera. So now it was our job to figure out what inside of the body was imbalanced, because they're eating pretty well. You don't have to be 100%, but they're eating pretty well. They're moving their body. So what else is the imbalance? That's what we need to look for it. And that was a lot of yesterday's show. It was high blood sugar. It was heavy metals. It was gut-based issues, digestive issues. It was hormones. It was higher levels of estrogen or cortisol. It was thyroid. So check out yesterday's show, and it was the top 21 causes, not just the top, but the most common 21 causes that I've seen of inflammation. And we lab test, and that's what we do. Again, as integrative health practitioners, functional medicine practitioners, we look for the underlying root cause imbalances. Because when you start lab testing, and again, you can do these right at home, but when you start lab testing, you find out what your omega-6 to omega-3 levels are. You find out what your cortisol and stress levels are. You find out if you have estrogen dominance, if you have high blood sugar levels, if you have low testosterone, low DHEA. You find out if you have gut issues like fungal overgrowth or bacterial overgrowth. You find out if you have parasites or H. pylori. You just start looking at your food sensitivities. You figure out what these things are with the big 5 labs or other labs that you might run. But you're not going to find them on just typical blood work. Typical blood work is to diagnose a disease. If you're not diagnosed with a disease, conventional medicine somehow tells you that you're healthy. Well, the absence of disease is not health. That's not how things work, right? That's sick care. We want real health care. Real health care looks at what are your deficiencies and what are your toxicities. We go about removing those toxicities and replacing the deficiencies. That is what allows for true health. So if you ever hope to get rid of your autoimmune issue, your skin rashes, your migraines, your whatever it might be, you need to look at what the underlying root causes are of those imbalances. You need to stop thinking about treating the disease or curing the symptoms or anything like that. The disease name is almost irrelevant. The disease name simply means that your genetics manifest in this specific way, and we gave it a name. That's it. It's a collection of symptoms that we give a name, often after the person that discovered, and I'm using that in air quotes, the disease itself. So now, what caused the disease? Well, we need to figure out what that was, right? And check out yesterday's show, episode 1566, for many of those factors. Okay. So we have wellness, right? So we lose the weight first. This is I'm telling you this. If your goal is to lose more than 20 pounds, focus on that. Honestly, focus on the weight loss. Do a 21-day functional medicine detox. You'll probably be almost all the way there. You'll lose the 20 pounds. You'll be close to it. So do that first. And then after that, you can begin to do a Fatlocity program. You can begin to do your favorite whatever weight loss program it might be. Just make sure it's healthy, right? Don't do one that doesn't allow you to eat some carbohydrates, some vegetables, things like that. You want to be able to maintain this. There can be phases, like we do a phase 1 for Fatlocity, a phase 2, and a phase 3, and that allows you to start reintroducing more and more foods. See how your body does. Well, that's a smart way to do it. There's no doubt about it. But again, just lose that weight, right? Lose the weight, get within 10 pounds of your goal weight, keep on going to your goal weight if that's what you want. If there's anything left in terms of wellness-based issues, work on that next. Because so many people want to work on anti-aging. But you don't get to work on anti-aging if you are currently overweight or not well. And I don't say that in an insensitive way. But don't work on anti-aging. I'm trying to save you the frustration. That was today's thought process. Let me save people the frustration of doing things in the wrong order. If you are taking nicotinamide mononucleotide, if you're taking resveratrol or resveratrol, I should say, if you are taking any host of anti-aging based elixirs, and I'm not saying that in a negative way either, because there are many that are great. If you're taking turmeric, if you're taking all of these things, don't. You don't need to. Put your money right now towards whatever weight loss based system that you need. Personal trainer, coach, nutritionist, integrative health practitioner, etc. That's honestly where your money should go. And again, CoQ10, great product, right? No doubt about it. But you don't need that right now. You don't, because coenzyme Q10, ubiquinone, ubiquinol are not going to overpower. They're not going to do it if you're 30 plus pounds more overweight. It's just not. It's not the way to go about it. You actually get so much more benefit by being at a healthier body weight, because at a healthier body weight, everything is functioning better because there's a lower level of inflammation. That's most likely what it takes to get there, right? You have to do the things to get healthy to get to the body weight that you want. Remember this. If you are overweight, your body's not healthy. And if you're healthy, you're not overweight. A healthy body can't be overweight. And I don't say that from an insensitive standpoint. I'm saying this as someone that cares about you and your health. Don't let anybody ever tell you that being 50 or 100 pounds overweight is okay for your health. It's not. It's okay as to how you look. I don't judge on that, and neither should anybody else. But it's not healthy. And we have to really understand that. Cardiovascular issues, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and high blood pressure, stroke. All the top 4 causes of death are all caused by being that overweight. That's the truth. And that should matter. It really should. Because it may not matter now, but when your quality of life goes down and you're not able to see your grandkids or anything like that, that will matter then. And the longer it goes on, the harder it is. It's not that you can't do it, it's just harder. So do it now. Plus, there's more complications. You don't want to be on all these medications. All these medications lead to just more medications and more dis-ease of the body. Okay, So lose the weight, get well, figure out what your underlying root causes are, then you can work on the anti-aging. Remember, you will naturally live longer, stronger, 99 out of 100 times, because we can't predict everything, right? I always say cancer is sometimes the wild card, all these things that we're exposed to are the wild card. We don't always know. But we give ourselves our best opportunity to live a long, healthy life. And we do that by keeping the weight off, by staying within about 10 pounds, 5 to 10 pounds of our healthy body weight. There'll always be a little fluctuation around the holidays and summertime and those types of things. Do your best, okay? Don't ever allow yourself to get more than 5 or 10 pounds away. Why 5 to 10? Well, if you weigh 200 pounds, an extra 10 pounds isn't as big a deal as if you weigh 100 pounds, right? It's 10% of your body weight. So it's different, right? So we'll look at it like that. You could say, okay, well, let's look at somewhere around 3 to 5% maybe of your body weight. Okay, we can look at it that way, away from your goal weight. Then we get well. And if you aren't diagnosed with a disease any longer, well, you're doing a whole lot better. Doesn't mean that you're great, but it means that you're getting better, right? So now run the labs. Just make sure that everything is balanced. And then good, you've got your clean bill of health. You're doing what you need to. You can still enjoy a flex meal once or twice a week. You can enjoy a little alcohol once a week or maybe twice a week at most or so. All these things you can do as part of a healthy program once you are healthy. And the anti-aging comes from this, making sure that you continue to maintain your wellness and maintain your weight loss as well. Truly, that's what really anti-aging is. There seems to be confusion around you need to be doing IV drips and all of this. No, you don't. You absolutely do not. What you need to do is to make sure that all of your deficiencies have been brought up. Your vitamin C, your B vitamins, your zinc, etc. You need to also make sure that you're not taking in and that the toxicity is not building up, right? That you're not filling up your rain barrel, because all of these then lead to other issues which lead to lower lifespan. And then after that, you can start to get into specific anti-aging. Specific anti-aging would be the things that start to lower a little bit later in life, like imbalanced hormones, or there's issues with better regulating inflammation. That's when things like ginger and boswellia and curcumin and bromelain can all help. And then also with some of these more advanced things that I've spoken about before, like the nicotinamide riboside or the nicotinamide mononucleotide, eventually it'll be straight NAD once we find a better methodology to get it into the body. Or resveratrol. All of these things can be great, and they will be great, and they're getting there. And that's when it's appropriate to use it. And you don't need to start using these things right away. It could happen into your 50s or 60s or 70s. That's when you start to use it for your body, when you see the need, when the deficiency shows itself. If you start to decline in DHEA and decline in hormones, and you've done all of your different protocols, like your zinc and your vitamin C and all of the other things that help to boost testosterone, you take your phosphatidylserine at night, your adrenal soothe at night, you're taking your magnesium, all the things that can boost that naturally, and it's still not giving you where you need to be, well, that's when you might start to talk with your IHP, your functional medicine doctor, etc., about maybe using some DHEA when you're in your 60s or whatever it might be. But I really don't see that needed too much before that. So just keep in mind, there is a specific methodology, and it starts with losing weight, getting to a healthy body weight, then making sure that you are well, that there should be no diagnosed disease, and that all of your labs look balanced. And just by doing that alone, you give yourself a much better chance to live in a long, healthy life. And then, of course, you can begin to add in all of those extras as well. Still maintaining your fitness, still trying to do some sauna, still doing your flexibility training, still getting your sleep. Like all of the whole de-stress protocol matters, right? So if you haven't read The Rain Barrel Effect yet, I can't recommend that enough. And all of these things add up. They truly do, day in and day out. There is no one thing that you do that is the end-all, be-all. It is the accumulation of actions in life that allow us to achieve our goals. Whatever the goal might be, it's what you do on a daily basis, not overdoing one particular day, but it's what you do on a daily basis that allows you to lose the weight, to get well, and to live longer, stronger. So hopefully this has been helpful. I really appreciate you tuning in as always. And of course, if this was helpful, please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.